Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the stock show on Sunday, coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today, I'm going to show you a method where if you had used this method over the last 2 years, you could have made over 100% on the SPY alone. And I'm going to teach you the strategy and a whole bunch more. We're going to look at our cheat sheet and some of our hot stocks that we have been trading. And before we do that, of course, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people. And of course, does help support the channel, as does your wonderful comments that you leave. You take the time to write them. I take the time to read them and respond. So first of all, let's look at a couple of graphs here on trading here. Bravo's research, I'm so excited about it. Knock the microphone down. Bravo's research, the S&P 500 forward profit to earning ratio, annualized returns over 10 years is 5%. 5%, but I'm going to show you how you could have actually earned over 100% since late 2022. And I have touched on this a few times in various videos that I've shared, and I've shared this extensively in the Tribal Trades Discord, and I'm currently doing this method and has been extremely profitable. In fact, my gains have been over 300% because I have been doing it with SPY, but I've also been doing it with many other stocks which have outperformed the SPY, of course. So the gains are going to be much greater just in the last couple of years. So let me show you how this is going to work. But before we jump into that, we have the S&P 500 returns from 1950 to 2024. And you can see out of, 74 years, only 16 years has it closed negative. So investing in the SPY, having a long-term view of things can be very powerful. And this is why I have 3 trading strategies. I have the long game. If we liken it to golf, I have the long game off the tee. I have the medium game, which is your approach into the green, and I have the short game, which is your chipping and your putting. So what I'm going to share with you today is more so based around the longer term view and the long-term investment, and how I trade long-term with stocks and with crypto. Of course, the medium are the swings in and out. They can be open as much of a day, a few weeks, a few months, depending on how much it runs to the upside or the downside. And of course, the shorter term ones are the leverage and the scalping there as well. We teach all of these methods, no matter what kind of investor you are, whether you're just a long-term investor, a medium-term investor, or a short-term day trader who does this full-time. We teach all of that in the Tribal Trades Discord, okay? Now, so let's jump into this strategy and share how that works, because remember what I said, just for the SPY alone, this would have netted over 100% gains just over the last couple of years. But on trading other stocks like Tesla and MicroStrategy and some of the others, Coinbase, that has had much bigger gains and much bigger swings, my portfolio is up over 300% for stocks just since late 2022. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did that, okay? So let's go first of all to the SPY. First of all, we need to add the stochastic RSI. I've already done that for you on this chart over here, already prepared for you. There is the stochastic RSI. You just go to your indicators and you would type in stochastic and RSI, and you would add that indicator there. Then you would put the time frame on the weekly time frame. And here's how the rules go. So first of all, to execute a trade, whether it be on the SPY or another stock, and by the way, generally speaking, when the SPY does this, it's generally a good time to buy these other stocks as well, based off this happening on the SPY. So let me show you. So first of all, we see the blue line cross above the red line. Number one, it's done that, but that's not the time to end of the trade. The time to end of the trade is when the blue line then crosses the 20 line here. And you can see the shaded area 20 on the stochastic RSI at that point. that would have given you an entry somewhere between around about 480 to about 510, somewhere in there. That's your entry there on the SPY. Then you would not sell it until a couple of things. There are two different sell signals. The first sell signal is, if we go back here, if the SPY was to, this is a really good example, by the way, if the SPY, first of all, has to go below the red line, the blue line below the red line, but then that's not the time you sell it. Because look, when that happens there, that's not the time to sell it. The time to sell it is when it also goes below the 80% line, pull the trigger. So that's condition number one for selling. So buy and sell signal number two. Buy signal number two is when the blue line crosses over the red line after it's already above the 20% line. So if the blue line is already above the 20% line and then it crosses like here, that is when you would get into the trade, which would be right around here, okay? And vice versa, the sell signal would be when the blue line crosses below the red line when it's below the 80%. So we've got buy signal one and buy signal two and sell signal one and sell signal number two. Because I'm about to show you how the magic works. Now, to find out how the magic works, we're going to go back in the time machine all the way back to late 2022. I've already done the math on this, okay, that if you'd put, let's say, we're going to go with $10,000, okay, and there we're adding it here at round about the lows, actually, right when the blue crosses the red, it's about 347, okay, so you're buying for 347 here, okay, so now we're not selling until right pretty much almost at the top here, right about this level here, which is going to be around $400. So you're buying at 347 and you're selling at about 400. You've made some profit there. You're getting back in again on the trade here just a short time later from October in January, getting back in and you're buying back here, this candle here at about 377. Okay, so just a short little dip, and then you're selling again. You can see there's the blue line going over here, and you're selling again about 411. So 2 for 2, people, 2 for 2. Then we're going to come down here and we're going to buy again on this candle here, crossing the line, and that's going to get us in around 390. Okay, and we're not actually selling until for quite some time later, all the way up here at 400 and around about $460. That's your sign. Now, obviously, you would not have sold any of these. You potentially could have sold here. This was a bit of a false signal. It went down. So maybe you sold at worst, you sold here at 440. And so you missed out on that $20. But remember, you had already gotten in at around about 390. So it's up by about 50. And otherwise you would have gotten out here. Now this might have freaked you out. You're like, oh, I sold it and then it's gone back up, and it's gone back down. And of course, it's always great in hindsight to look back, but trust the process. We are now 3 for 3. We're 3 for 3. We're 3 for 3, people. Now, we would not buy back again using this method here until we come back here at 411, okay? 411. Now, there's a fake out here. So technically, we could have bought back here at 441, and then we would have sold at about 444, 442. So about the same. So break even. So we're going to cancel that one out as break-even place. So we're still 4 for 4, and that one was you're getting out at about the same place that you get in. But then you get back in again here at about 410, 415, somewhere around here, and you don't actually get out of this play until, remember, we want to see this blue line cross back below. And so 410 We didn't get back in, didn't get out again until around about this candle here, which is about 525. We're 5 for 5 with a tie, okay? 5 wins, 1 draw, okay? 5 wins, 1 draw. We'll do it in football analogy. 5 wins and 1 draw. Then we're not getting back in again here until this candle here, which is 504. So we're buying back, not much of a dip there, but still we're back in here at 504. Back in the play as you see the blue line cross over the 20% line. Now we're not getting back out again until this here, which is going to be up there at 561. So we've got 6 wins and a tie. 6 wins and a tie. And now we're going back down again, sold there, and now we're getting back in again over here around about this candle here, which is going to be about 533. Okay, so we're getting 533, but then we see coming back and we get out here at around 555 to 540 to 555. So now we're 7 wins and a draw. That was a little win. 7 wins and a draw here. And then we're getting back in again here when it crosses over right on this area here, which is going to be on this candle here, which is 570. So we're back in at 570. And then we're not getting out. Remember, well, here's where you get out there, because even though it's below, you get out here, and that's going to be obviously just a little bit higher, 595. Let's say you got out a little bit late, 580 around there. Worst case scenario, you got breakout of M, but it's still a win because it's still a candle that allows you to get out on a win there. So we got 8 wins and 1 draw on that one there. And then we would get back in again onto this trade. Let's just stretch this out a little bit. And look, it's not an easy strategy. Get back in the trade here, up here at about 590. So you're actually buying back a little bit higher than what you sold it. And then you would be getting out here on this candle right here, pretty much about the same that you bought it for, 605.9. I'm going to give that one another tie. So we got 7 wins and 2 ties so far. 7 wins and 2 ties on this method here. Comes down. Now we get back in it again here, okay? And that's going to be at about 575. And then that takes us up to get out here at 610. We got 8 wins and 2 ties, no losses, no losses. There was not a time where you actually sold lower than what you bought it for, okay? 8 wins, 2 losses. And then, of course, we're down here and we're buying again around this area, and we're going to see how this plays out. And my plan is we'll be selling when the blue crosses back below the red. Now, I've done the calculations, and they're rough calculations. They're not going to be perfect, but a $10,000 investment from that first time of the crossover in October 2022 through to up here before we drop brought about a $15,000 profit approximate. So about 150%. But I've scaled it back, and that's why I've told this video how to 100%, because there might be some skeptics there. So I even trimmed it a little bit, but over 100%, maybe as high as 150, but at least 100%, okay, you can see. And you can go and run this experiment and do the math if you would like to. Of course, you have to really get the candles spot on. And in a candle, a price candle can be sell at any time in that candle technically. That's why I've done over 100%, but I would think at 150% would probably be around or close to the most you would have made trading this method just in the last 2 years. 2 years, people, 2 years, even more with stocks, other stocks out there, such as MicroStrategy or Coinbase or Tesla or some of the others, NVIDIA, Palantir, obviously made much more than that, okay? Over 300% over that 2-year period, 2 and a bit year period, although the drop happened here. So it's around about 2 years. And of course, now we're into year 3, and we're going to see, and we're going to continue to track this. So we're not going to start it back from November. We're going to start it from now, and we're going to start it from the entry here And every time this happens, I'm going to update you here on the stocks on Sunday, or possibly on the Hump Day Stock Day show on Wednesday for stocks. And we're going to track that, and we're going to do it, and we're going to base it off a $10,000 investment. But of course, I give these plays. All these plays are given in the Discord. Look at these incredible plays that were given out on the 22nd of April. And I shared my trades that I added more SPY at 517 and 168. Of course, I added SPY at 510 when the blue line crossed. I added a little bit more there. And of course, on Amazon. And these were all the prices. I give targets to the upside. I also give targets to the downside for those who might wanting to short it, or who might want to buy more at the next level support on the way down. They're all shared in the Discord, the Tribal Trades Discord. And you can see also all the amount of incredible wins that have been happening in the channel there. Absolutely fantastic. Nikola Tesla, absolutely crushing it. Donut is in there crushing it there, 51%, 97%, 31% there. And there's a great trade here. Donut here has retired, I'm told, and decided to learn to join my Tribal Trades channel and learn leverage trading. I've only been leverage trading for a month, and just in one trade, he's more than paid for the Discord. Even just for less than a cup of coffee, you can join the Discord. There is a link below in the description. You might need to click more. That will pop out, and that will actually give you access for a link to request to join the Discord there. I'm also in the Stocks with Josh Discord as well. I've got my own Crown Traders channel in there where I share education, insights, resources, some of my trade setups, and of course entertainment, because this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? And so, but at the end of the day, it's to, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. It pays for itself. You look at all these great wins that are happening in here. You can see them. There are some fantastic wins that are happening in the Discord from people. Some of these have never leveraged trade ever before. 200% win there from Mike Crypto. There, Izzy Lanes is in there crushing it. There's Donut again crushing it. Got Gaddis in there crushing it. Nikola Tesla again. And some Fanatics in there crushing it. Whole bunch of people just doing some great job in there. Full supportive community. We have the Leverage Lounge, aka the Party Zone, full of incredible traders who are just so supportive and helpful to one another there. And so, of course, I've got lots of other, like I said, I've got crypto plays, the stocks plays, which I just showed you there. And as you can see, these gains in stocks have gone up significantly from when I gave them just on the 22nd. And I share those plays every single, Monday to Friday there in the Discord. Okay. So that's how that strategy works here. We're going to track it together. This is our first video. I'm going to add a little in the stocks cheat sheet there, which I do show once a week. You can see how much gains from the entries that I gave and the entries where I personally purchased these items. You can see how much they're already up. And, I say in the Discord, you got to be in it to win it. The people that are making the money are the ones that are taking the trades. Okay. You got to risk it for the biscuit. Okay. No risk it, no biscuit. And so you can see already just a bunch of really great moves already up. I mean, look at this Palantir in 67 entry, already at 112. You would have more than paid for the Discord with those trades. And of course, that doesn't, not even factoring in the crypto trades, the Tau entry that I gave at 233, already over $360. The Sui trade gave it at $2.10. That got up to around $2.80. Was that right? No, $3.80. My goodness, $2.10 to $3. I almost doubled in price. And I'm giving trades in the Discord in the crypto play section there consistently as well. I know this is a stock show, but I know some people also love crypto and love trading crypto. So just giving you a heads up there. All right, that's all we have time for today. And of course, until the next episode or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.